Well, hello, everybody. It is high noon here in Deshler, Nebraska. We are here at Spring Creek Model Trains to bring you some live coverage of their 25th anniversary event. My name is Ray Arnott. So glad you could join us. Sitting on the opposite side is the editor of Model Railroad News, Tony Cook. Tony.
Hey, Ray, how you doing?
We're doing awesome. Lunch was good.
The pie count is 1. I just told Mike I'm ahead of him on slices of pie. I had a slice of lemon meringue pie.
I had strawberry rhubarb for breakfast.
How was it?
Awesome.
I'm not a fan of it, but people that like it love it.
Love it. Yeah. It brings me back to memory, my grandma making it. It was very, very good. So glad we got a good belly full of lunch and a whole load of trains. And, I'm thinking about our ride up here, and you saw me breaking my neck every time we went over a bridge or over near a yard and checking out. So some of the things, we all love model trains, but the rail fanning stuff is fun too. And that brings us to our next guest.
Oh, Deshler, Nebraska may be a favorite, but North Platte, Nebraska is absolute railroad town. Absolutely. Bailey Yard, UP, and we have got none other than Bruce Mendenhall here with us. Hello.
Well, thanks. Thanks for having me. Appreciate both of you. And hopefully we can discuss a little bit about the Bailey Yards and the Golden Spike, and appreciate you being here.
No, glad to have you here, and glad you were able to make it out here to Deshler, and you're out there telling people about the Golden Spike Tower. Tell us, for the people that are at home, a little bit about the Golden Spike Tower and what you guys are all about.
Well, the Golden Spike Tower sits about 8 feet or 8 stories high. We've got an outside observatory on the 7th floor and then an inside observatory on the 8th floor that you can walk around and see the whole area. We've got, it's the only place where you can probably see, I think we average about 140 trains a day through Bailey Yard. And so you can sit there and see trains being made up. You can see trains being humped. You can see trains running through. You can see anything and everything there. And we see a wide variety of things through there.
So there's probably very few moments of boredom when it comes to being up in that tower and looking over that yard.
There is always something. And, that's the other thing is because we have so many volunteers up there who've been with us for a while, they make it so much worthwhile because we get people from all over the world that come into there. It's a destination just for them, for the rail fans, just to be able to come there and see that.
Oh, that's awesome. And we got fans from around the world that listen to the podcast. And what would you say your farthest traveled person has been to the Golden Spike Tower? Do you know?
I don't know. I know that we've had people from Australia there. We've had people from Japan there. From France, from Europe, from all over. Russia. We've got a map there that shows the whole spectrum of. I don't know if we've not had something from someplace.
Amazing. So it is a destination place to go for sure.
Yes.
As you come in, there's a whole museum stuff and gift shop. In fact, a lot of nights I'm sleeping in my Bailey Yard T-shirt. It's like that's my pajamas, I guess. But yeah, I always end up walking out of there with a bunch of UP goodies.
I was talking to one of the ladies from the Colorado Museum, and she says that's probably one of the best gift shops.
It is.
It really is. They've been into.
Yeah.
So awesome. Kirsten, our executive director, does a really good job of keeping that stocked and keeping new things into there all the time.
It's fun stuff. And there's a lot of displays and some information on like the canteen and things that North Platte did over the years.
There is. Yeah. One of the things when I first got on the board here a few years ago, I took a tour up there. One of the things I didn't realize was the impact the railroad had on orphan trains, and how important that was for a lot of the agriculture areas, was having these orphan trains coming in here and adopting these young families and young kids, and that's a huge thing. And so we've got those displays. We've got displays of how the hump yards work, or how the railroad works, how they switching gear and things like that. So we're constantly updating those displays to keep them current and to keep them going.
And boy, the view when you get it's 8 stories high, right? You come out there, you're basically on the southeast corner of like the engine facilities right there, and you stand there. It's like it's a real model railroad because you're high enough up. It's almost like you're looking down at a model railroad. It's very awesome. Yeah,
very, very cool.
It is very neat. The other thing is, even though it's so huge, that we're up 8 stories, but the rail yard is 8 miles long, 2 miles wide. You can put 2,155 football fields in that area. So even though you're up high, you still can't see it all.
You don't see it all.
But where we're situated at, you can see the run through traffic going through. You can see the hump yards in action. You can see the diesel facility. You can see all those things in action. So it is a unique situation and a unique place to be.
Awesome stuff. So not only, obviously, you talked about the modern day stuff that you can see from the tower, and then you've got history being covered, and this is all UP related. Talk about the relationship between the Golden Spike Tower and the Union Pacific Railroad and how you folks kind of work together.
We do. We host some events for them as well, but then we also take care of their Operation Lifesaver. We do a lot of education to students. We're constantly, because we're a nonprofit, and we do a little bit of profit with our store, but mostly we're nonprofit, we're educational. So we do a lot of education to a lot of our students in the area, and push that. And UP kind of helps us with some of that, providing us some information and some pamphlets and some things like that, because that helps them be able to fill their niche that they need as well.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, safety is one thing that's very important to me when I'm rail fanning. I've been injured when I've been rail fanning. It's no fun. And, what an awesome opportunity, not only to teach people, but then provide them a safe way to see the yard versus some of the less creative and more dangerous ways to rail fan.
Correct. And it is very safe, and you're up there, and like I said, you can see everything. And then during our rail days, during the first week in August, you can actually take VIP tours, schedule your VIP tour, bus tour, and they actually, one of the UP senior managements gets on the bus, and they actually take us down through, and you actually see the rail yard actually in action.
Awesome stuff. Well, we'll talk a little bit more about this. Let's just say hi to the few folks that are joining us here as we're going live. Again, Randy Dorman, thanks again for stopping by. Canadian Locomotive Logistics also stopping by and saying hello. Joey over at Late Night Model Railroad stopping by. And Galen's back. Good to see you. And Joey Ginto joining us from Arkansas. Good to see you. And we are here, yes, at Spring Creek Model Trains 25th anniversary. You mentioned all this prototype stuff, but you mentioned us before the show. Model railroading has bit you a little bit.
It has. I was getting close to retiring, and I know that when my dad retired, it didn't go so well for him because he didn't have much to do, no hobby, no nothing. And I really didn't have no hobby. I kind of golfed a little bit, but hitting a ball around all the time was probably not my cup of tea. Plus it's hot. I don't like the heat.
That would turn me off too.
If I could go out on a perfect day where it's nice and cool, I might be able to go.
There's a handful of those.
There's a handful.
Most days now.
There's a few, but no. And so I was like, you know what? I used to build hobbies or little scale cars, and I was like, maybe this would be. I like computers, and so it fits into my will niche. That hobby is the model railroading hobby. You're gonna put together. You're gonna use your architecture, your woodworking skills. You're gonna know you're gonna use computers if you do DCC. You're artistic. I used to own an art store for a while, so it combines all those things all into one. And I was like, that's what better hobby to have.
Cool. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it is definitely a hybrid hobby fitting all of those things in. And of course, we learn a lot from the prototype. So you've got a role that really fits in well. You're working, seeing the prototype, you're tying in history, and now coming into model railroading. You've got a great head start heading into this hobby.
Yeah. I hope so. I hope so. If my wife will just allow to work with me a little bit, we'll be good. Which she's been very accommodating. So it's been well. And like I said, being a part of the Spike's been a way for me to give back to the community a little bit. And hopefully we're trying to expand it. We're hoping for a building project here soon. So hopefully you'll see some new things going in out there.
And I see you got an event coming up. We're going to talk about that in a moment. But let's just take another quick look at the folks that are coming in and joining us that couldn't quite make it to Deshler, but are saying hello. Afternoon to you, Matthew, and thank you for stopping by. Our good friend, Illinois Midland Railroad, also stopping by to see us. And Brad Wilson says, I'm hi from Brad's BN Trains in Beatrice. I will be on site tomorrow. We'll look forward to seeing you here, Brad. So thanks for stopping by. And Joey adding, yes, it is a hobby that teaches so much and get to use so many great skills. I do see on your website, and we'll share that website address right here, goldenspiketower.com. Tell us a little bit about you have an event coming up here in August.
We do. We have our annual event in August, Rail Days. Where we'll be having a model railroad set up in the DNA Event Center. We have, I think, 20 some different vendors or layouts set up in that area. And we're gaining more and more every day. We'll also do community events. We'll do a rails, trains, cars, and planes or something. And we're going to have for the community to come participate. The VIP people will be able to participate. We'll do midnight tours at Bailey Yard. So you can actually see the trains at nighttime, which is really, really unique. You don't get that advantage very often. And we do that during Rail Days as well. There will be also eat or learn about Nebraska. We have different Nebraska vendors like Dorothy Lynch or certain Nebraska beers and different things like that we'll do on Friday night for those people that want to come and participate in that as well. So there's a lot of things going on during Rail Days.
Well, sounds like a lot of fun and another reason to take a trip to Nebraska.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Come see us.
Yeah. So go see Golden Spike Tower, come down here, see Spring Creek Model Trains in Deshler, make a whole trip out of it and bring the whole family.
Yep. Yeah. One of the new events this year that we're going to do is we also have one of the challengers, one of the few challengers still left in North Platte at Cody Park, and one of the centennials there. And so we're hoping to do a tunes and trains type of event one of those nights. I think it's Saturday night. So you can come and participate in that. That'll be in the evening. You'll be able to get on the actually climb aboard the Challenger, actually climb aboard the Centennial, actually be there like you were running the Engineer, just like if you would be running it down the track.
That sounds like a once in a lifetime opportunity. Tony, you were talking about maybe ending your travel in July, but boy, this is awful tempting.
I've been to Cody Park. I've been up in both the Centennial and the Challenger in the past. But it's North Platte was always, when I was a little kid and we'd go out to Colorado, we'd always take 30 across, next to the UP the whole way, and usually could get to North Platte at the end of the first day from the St. Louis area. And back in those days, you'd pull up, and basically where you look out of the Golden Spike Tower at the yard facility, it would just be amazing because it'd be Milwaukee, Frisco, Seaboard Coastline, Rock Island, Mopac, all the different power mixed in with the UP stuff. That was railroading like I had never seen it, and still is a lot of fun today. Yeah,
still, and it's like you go out there and you still see all the major brands still going through there because we're still splitting power. It's still using power. It's amazing what all goes through. One of the senior management from UP says, they use Bailey Yard as their kind of their economic barometer because everything goes through North Platte. Everything east, west, north, south, whether you're going to Mexico, it's probably going to go through North Platte.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that'll definitely be the place to be.
I got a question.
Yeah.
What scale have you adopted? You're a newbie model railroader. What scale and why?
Okay. Well, I've been collecting HO.
Okay. Yeah.
But I kind of got a little bit of for this August train show, I've established a Z scale.
Ooh,
And that's what I'm setting up for layout so I can start learning layouts. And so I'm starting with that, and I've got the basic design down. I've got the track laid down. I bought some Z scale stuff, and that's pretty small stuff.
It is pretty small.
But I figure if I can learn how to do scenery and buildings, and I've been assembling my own buildings, and I've got the mountains built. I've got a lift out display ready for that, and so I'm going to start doing my sculpting mode and my painting, and hopefully by August I'll have it going.
Well, how about you? We always end up with these people that there's always an interesting aspect. But how about that one, Ray? I don't think I've ever seen that before. I'm going to start with Z to kind of work my skills and to see how it goes. Then I'll move up to a bigger scale.
Is that like the model railroad version of like swinging a weight bat? Like you really fine tune your eyes into Z, and then by that point HO looks huge. So it's like it's a weight bat kind of thing.
Could
Isn't it?
be. He may be onto something.
Right. My eyesight's not as well as what it used to be.
Well, you chose Z though.
Yeah,
you didn't go that way. So
I did.
Working the eyes too. Awesome. Well, Bruce, it was so great to meet you. And again, it's the website is
goldenspiketower.com, I think is what it is. goldenspiketower.com.
If you're vacationing and rolling through on I-80, make that a stop in North Platte.
Absolutely. If you're a train enthusiast, make sure you got to do it.
And if you're here right now in Deshler, make sure you swing by. They're down in the community center.
Yes.
And they've got a set up there. Beautiful photo. Look at that big photograph of Bailey Yard and all the information. They've got a lot of stuff there and they can stop by, talk to you, ask questions about the Golden Spike Tower, talk about your event coming up here in August, and everything else in between if it make plans to make it out to Bailey Yard and check out the Golden Spike Tower.
Absolutely. We'd love to have them. If they stop out by, we've got some $2 off coupons and 25% off on the gift store. So stop by and pick it up.
Awesome. Great stuff. And thank you so much for coming out here supporting Spring Creek Model Trains, their 25th anniversary, this awesome train show open house that they're doing. And you might be hard pressed to find a little Z scale, but I'm sure you can find things that'll work and maybe or start adding to your HO collection when you're ready to go.
Yeah. I was asking Mike, I said, when are you going to start selling Z scale? And he goes, we won't be doing that.
That sounds like Mike.
Very good. Well, Bruce, thank you so much for coming on with us live here on our YouTube channels, both the Spring Creek Model Trains YouTube channel and also the Around the Layout podcast channel. We'll be back at 2:00 with another guest. Until then, folks, have a good one. We'll see you soon.